Season 6 in Warzone has now been out for a couple weeks. So after playing around with the new settings and changing a couple things here and there, I got for you guys the best Warzone Season 6 settings for controller and console. Let's jump right into this video. So one of the most important things that I changed was the BR button layout. Before I used to play with tactical flip, but now I play on default flip. Reason being is because I got a sponsored controller with paddles in the back. If you guys want to check out that control that I have, link is in the description. I still do play with flip because I believe shooting with L1 and R1 is still one of the best things you can do. This two right here do not matter. The dead zone again, I used to run 0.4 on my other controller, but I bumped this one down to 0.03 and it's working pretty good. Remember to find your dead zone. All you have to do is go to horizontal and vertical, set both to 2020. If your guy's still moving, up the dead zone. If he's not moving, lower your dead zone. For the horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, I'm still playing at 9.9. I think I've been playing this for a while now. I did have to lower it once I went to my new controller just to kind of get used to it at first, and then I brought it back to 9.9. My ADS sensitivity multiplier is at 0.65 and my ADS sensitivity multiplier for the high zoom is at 0.73. Remember, I always like my high zoom just a little bit higher because I like flicking with my snipers. For the aim response curve type, I've been using dynamic for as long as I can remember, and really right now my shots have been on point, so I don't see any reason for changing this. The controller vibration, again, one of the weirder ones, but I do like to have it on. It just feels good when you have it on. When you don't have it on, it feels like there's something wrong with your controller. The aim assist, so long ago I used to use precision and focusing when I was improving my sniping skills, but now I use standard. This one is the best for the close quarter combat. Next up for these ones, I got ADS plus melee. Doesn't really matter, doesn't really matter, doesn't really matter. Now, an interesting one that we have here is the steady aim behavior. Now, I don't really hold my breath that much just because I'm a little bit more experienced with snipers, but if you're not and you like holding your breath a lot, this one may be something that you can change. You can switch this to toggle, meaning that when you jump into your sniper scope, you only have to click it once and you'll hold your breath, meaning that you don't have to have that like the left finger holding down while you're trying to hold. So if you like to hold your breath while you're sniping, then this might be a setting that you want to change. And then remember, for the use/reload behavior, I always like to use tap to use. This was one of the best ones, meaning that if you see something on the ground, you just have to tap it and it will pick it up. You don't have to hold it like you used to. Depleted ammo switch enabled. Armor plate, this was, I used to run apply one, but now I kind of got used to canceling when I'm applying also. For applying all, this one's one of the better ones. Slide behavior hold, auto move forward disabled. Automatic tack sprint, I got the automatic tactical sprint for this one, meaning that if you move your left analog stick forward, it will automatically start auto tack sprinting. You can change this one just to sprint, just in case you don't want this one. And this is where another new setting comes into play, this one called tactical sprint. So now a lot of people may be wondering what it actually does. So if you have automatic tack sprint, this one actually does nothing. Like this one just overrules it. But let's say you've got auto sprint or you got disabled, what this one will do is, for example, tactical sprint, if you hit that running button twice, then you will start tactical sprinting. Or for example, you can single tap it from sprinting and you'll start. But again, this just gives you a little bit more options, but this doesn't really affect it at all. Like if you have automatic tack sprint, this one will just be overridden basically. And then also I do have parachute auto deploy on. Sometimes it happens that you gotta go pee, you gotta get some food, whatever happens, and maybe they res you, so just you don't smash like a pancake. I know that if you have it off, you can open it closer to the ground, but to be honest, most of the times when I'm flying to other places, I already opened my parachute once. And remember, once you open your parachute once, that auto deploy won't be there. So I've never really had any issues with this. Next up, for the brightness, I do have it too lower. This was with the newer season. I just felt that it was a little bit too bright, so I do run 48 for this one. Film grain, remember to set it all the way to 0. Two tips, I don't know why this was enabled, but I don't want anything there in my screen. Subtitles disabled. Again, the less shit you can have in your screen, the better. And then for the color blind, these used to change a lot. Like these ones, I felt they affected the game more a little bit than before. I used to run the second one, but then again, after one of those changes, I like to try Tritanopia. I feel it gives you a little bit more contrast. You guys can see here disabled compared to Tritanopia. I feel it gives you a little bit more contrast. Disabled just feels like greeny, so I like this one. And just remember to set colorblind target to both. And here, remember, world motion blur and weapon motion blur off, both of them. And then this was one that they added a while back, but if you got good internet, then you should switch this one. So what this basically does is that while you're playing, it's like downloading textures, but again, like from your internet. So if you got really bad internet and you're always lacking, this is something that you could disable. But again, if you got good internet, as you guys can see, they're high quality. Textures are downloaded as you play the game. Cool thing about this one is that you can actually set unlimited, or you can actually set the amount of gigs that you would like to download per game. As you guys can see there, it shows. So I've had it on high quality and unlimited, and as you guys can see, per day it doesn't even reach the 1 gigabyte of download. So it's not really that much, to be honest. Minimap shape, remember, we want this square. Minimap rotation enabled, and in the compass cardinal direction, remember, set to letters. And then this is something also they knew that they added. You can actually select the amount of time that you want a bunch of thing on your screen. So kill feed, I select default, but you can actually select medium, long, extended, or you can actually just have it completely off. And again, this is like in case you want to see somebody's name or what happened, you can actually have this extended, but I just have it a default and I think it works perfectly normal. And here you got like the people that send you messages, you know, like the whispers. I have this off just because, you know, it's a pain in the ass. Like I don't really want to see anybody's messages, to be honest. If they want to send me a message, they can do it through Discord or through my live chat. But if you do want them on, again, you've got the same options here for the amount of time that you want to have this on. And you can actually even have an alert when somebody sends you a message. But again, I do have all of this off, but it is an option if you want to. And then text chat enabled, and then the profanity, that means that if you enable this, you won't be able to see any of the bad words. But remember, we do want to see some bad words here and there. And again, we're the same thing with the gore effects. I do have this enabled. And then you got the game installs, meaning that if you click on this, you'll see everything that you have installed and uninstalled, and you can, yeah. One of the things they did take away was the texture packs, and they moved that to this new to that new thing that we were looking at over here, to the on-demand texture streaming. So they, before you had to download texture packs, now they have this one. And then I did do some changes for the audio mix. So for the audio mix, I still use boost high. Again, this one depends on your on the kind of headphones that you have. It's not the same for everybody. Remember that on the top left of the screen, you got something that says play audio test, and you can play it out. But the thing I did change is my master volume is now at 90, and I do feel that it lowers everything in the game except for the footsteps. So for the effects volume, I keep it at 100. Effects are everything like when somebody's plating up, when somebody's reloading, footsteps, all that is in effects volume. But again, I did lower it down to 90, and I think it does work a little bit better. My dialogue volume, I do have it down to 40, because again, you don't want somebody screaming about the enemy UAV or all these other things in the game. And remember, like when a voice is annoying in the game, like they keep talking, like for example, when that numbers event was here, you could actually turn the dialogue volume all the way to 0 and you wouldn't hear that dude talking. And then for the hit marker sounds, if you've never switched this one, just give Modern Warfare a try. I feel that it sounds pretty good. Or you can use the classic one, whichever one you want. And here, just to explain something about the voice chat, I think sometimes a lot of people don't understand. But for example, when you got somebody that you can hear echo through their mic, or you can just hear everything through their mic, and everybody's just like, all right, touch your mic threshold, but everybody just drops it all the way down to 0. So actually the way to do it is, if your open mic threshold is all the way to 0, it means that your mic is going to capture the most that it can. So you're going to hear a lot more echo. So then if you don't want to hear anything on that, like the echo, only his voice, tell him to up that open mic volume threshold. And again, usually as somebody that has a lot of echo, I would say anything between like 7 or 8 mic threshold would be a good number. And then all these, again, you don't need to change, but the voice chat effect does change. And again, I've said this before, but if you got like really loud teammates, you can use stealth comms, and it will actually like reduce oh my god, sorry about that. It will actually reduce the volume of the other teammates, so it will sound like if you're on a sort of like radio sort of thing. But it's just pretty cool, actually. And then if you are a streamer, and a lot of some people didn't know this, but if you are a streamer and you don't want the songs because they're copyrighted, just go ahead and select war tracks as passenger disabled. And just to make sure that when you get on, you don't listen to it, like when you're driving, go ahead and select war tracks volume all the way to 0. And we got a really important one. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, when somebody invites you and you're like, oh my god, I do not want to click and accept this invite. Well, you can actually disable that here. So all the way to the right in account, if you go here to the 4th option, friend requests and party invite notifications disabled. That means that if I have it on, it'll appear on the screen, when somebody invites you. But if you have it disabled, you'll just have like the little text notification, but it won't give you an option like to click square by accident. So that's something very important that you should disable. And ladies and gentlemen, that was it for my settings. Let me know what settings are different from yours. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.